In a world where the impossible is just another day, there lived a young boy named Vicky. Vicky was a curious and adventurous soul who always dreamed of exploring the world beyond his small town. One day, his school organized a trip to Florence, the city of art and culture. Little did Vicky know that this trip would change his life forever. As Vicky and his classmates roamed the streets of Florence, they stumbled upon a hidden alleyway that led them to an old building. Intrigued, they decided to explore further and discovered a secret entrance to an underground art studio. The walls were adorned with beautiful paintings and sculptures, and in the corner, they saw a magnificent giraffe named Brian. Brian greeted the children with a gentle nod of his head, and Vicky felt a strange connection with the majestic creature. As they explored the studio, they learned about the life and work of the little-known genius artist who had created all the masterpieces in the studio. The artist had a special bond with Brian, who was his muse and inspiration. The children were captivated by the tales of the artist's adventures and the magical powers of his art. They learned that the artist had the ability to bring his creations to life, and Brian was his most prized creation. Brian had the power to transport people to different worlds through his paintings, and Vicky was eager to experience this magical journey. However, their excitement was short-lived as they soon discovered that the art studio was in danger. A group of villains had learned about the artist's powers and were planning to steal Brian to use his magic for their own selfish purposes. Vicky knew that he had to protect Brian and the art studio at all costs. With the help of Brian and the magical paintings in the studio, Vicky and his friends set out to thwart the villains' evil plans. They used the power of art and creativity to create illusions and traps to confuse the villains. As the tension mounted, Vicky realized that he had to confront the leader of the villains to save Brian and the studio. The leader of the villains sneered at Vicky and taunted him, but Vicky stood his ground. With the support of Brian and his friends, Vicky summoned all his courage and challenged the villain to a battle of wits and creativity. The fate of Brian and the art studio hung in the balance as the final showdown began. As the two adversaries clashed, Vicky unleashed his creativity and ingenuity to outsmart the villain. With the help of Brian's magical powers, Vicky created a stunning masterpiece that dazzled the villain and his minions. The villain realized that he was no match for Vicky and his friends and retreated, defeated. Vicky and his friends rejoiced as they saved Brian and the art studio from the clutches of evil. They thanked the artist for his guidance and wisdom, and bid farewell to Brian, knowing that they had forged a bond that would last a lifetime. As they left the art studio, Vicky felt a sense of fulfillment and wonder at the magical adventure they had experienced. As Vicky and his friends returned to Florence, they knew that they had experienced something truly special. The bond they shared with Brian and the artist would stay with them forever, inspiring them to follow their dreams and embrace the magic of creativity. In a world where the impossible is just another day, Vicky had discovered the power of art and friendship, and his life would never be the same again.